Repeat after me. Namo Gurubhya.
Namo Gurubhya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Dhammaya.
Namo Dhammaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Gurubhya.
Namo Gurubhya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Dhammaya.
Namo Dhammaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Gurubhya.
Namo Gurubhya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Dhammaya.
Namo Dhammaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
So we offer a mandala to request for teachings. Sache Boki Joji Medora, Rira Ninja Ninde Gavade, Sake Jindo Minde Wa, Rogona Lashina Johajo. This ground anointed with perfume, bestowed with flowers, a Mount Barrow in the middle, 4 great lands and the 8 subcontinents, the sun and the moon. Beautiful, vast, open, clean and clear space, enveloped by rainbows. We offer this to you. May all sentient beings, may all beings be able to enjoy such pure land. Idam Guru Rana Madara Niyataya. So good evening. So today there's this topic. What's the topic about?
Solving everyday problems through Tantra.
Solving everyday problems through Tantra. So first, before we talk about the Tantra, then we need to before we talk about Tantra, then we need to have in our motivation that we are here to listen to these teachings, so as to be able to bring, to awaken into truth of vast clarity, to be able to be of benefit for all. So this is a very important to develop a deep awakening in each and every one of us, for each and every one of us. Now, why do we say that it is for each and every one of us? Why is this important? It is very important because we have to understand that the main purpose of us doing our practice is truly for awakening into deep awareness, not just for ourselves, but the reality is for the benefit for all beings. And thus it is very beneficial to have in our own mind that all of us are farmers, that we are farmers that cultivate the mind. Right? It is impossible for us all to keep on thinking that we can buy everything off the shelf. Now, right now, we have capability to buy everything off the shelf in the supermarket, but we cannot buy inner peace. One cannot buy tranquility. One cannot buy meditative stabilization. Have a clear and calm mind. So this is something that money cannot buy. So that's why we have to readjust very clearly in our mind that we are here to do these practices, and the purpose of doing such a practice is to have such a deep awakening. Now, thinking about being a farmer is also the antidote to our mind that is full of ego and pride. in our daily life, because of our own past capabilities, of our own capabilities, of our own abilities, of our own connections, our friends, your education, your specialities, uh, we all have ego and pride. There is not one person in this world that does not have ego and pride. But the purpose is, right now, ordinarily in the sutra teachings, then we say ego and pride, and then have anger and all these things, they are bad. Then we have to abandon them. So what will happen is that we go through the process of process of isolation. We isolate ourselves from anger. We isolate ourselves from many other things that are seemingly very normal for ordinary human beings. We isolate ourselves from attachment. We isolate ourselves from desires. And so, then one may come to the thought or the thinking that now I can isolate myself, then I must be a very pure person. So then my practice must be very good. I become a holy sage. That I become this and I can become that. But that becomes only the external training. Okay, somebody who can sit there very quietly and close the eyes and not move and not fall asleep. On the outside looks like great meditator, looks like great capability to subdue their laziness, to subdue their mind. Who knows, maybe the person say, now everybody is looking, then I must put on a show that I am a great meditator. I have a great karma, or great this or great that. Okay, to have a name, fame and honor and so many stuff like that. And so, in Buddhism, it is very important that we must cultivate with the very clear idea of actually not what do we want, but what do we need. Right? Not what do we want, but what do we need. Not what everybody wants, but what everybody needs. Okay? So, it's true, everybody wants happiness. Everybody just wants to be happy, and therefore everybody just wants to satisfy their own craving for happiness. Now this is actually, if we look at it very clearly, is very, very dangerous and very, very detrimental. Everybody are human beings. We all have our own wants and needs. What happens if everybody get their own way to have all their happiness fulfilled? Somebody may be only happy when they cause harm to others. Right? Somebody may be very happy where they exact revenge on others, make revenge, make this, make that. So that way also happiness. Some other way is they say they have a freedom. They want freedom, then they are happy. So what does happiness mean when they have freedom? What happens? If they want to speak their mind, they speak their mind, then it becomes freedom. But accordingly to Buddhism, yes, we need the true liberation, we need the true freedom. But how do we get it? How do we manifest it? When you have freedom, does it mean that you can say and do whatever you want? Because many people think and feel that to have freedom, then I say whatever I want, I do whatever I want. If I like, I do. I don't like, I don't care. Then there is no harmony, and there is no communication based on only what I want, based on only what I need. Then what happens? That person get what he or she wants, but causing great harm to everybody. There is no harmony. There is no respect, right? And it's only happened that, oh, everybody becomes like an unruly child. You do whatever I want, I don't care, I don't want to sit down and listen, I just want to do this, I just want to do that, right? I don't want to listen. Then what happens? Maybe in Western culture, they say that, oh, there's a self-expression. Everybody may have a self-expression. But on the mind, in the training, we need, is very clearly stated and practiced and cultivated, we need to cultivate inner discipline. Even if you are somebody who say that you want to have a self-expression, even you very clearly, even Western education says, you need to go to school, go to examination, you need to complete a certain how many hours, you need to complete the examinations, you need to prove your capability or your understanding by writing theses and doing this and that. So this really very clearly shows, even though you say freedom, but freedom must be accorded with discipline. If not, you cannot trust. Anybody can say, I'm a doctor. Anybody can say, I'm a chef. Anybody can say, I'm a multi-billionaire. So trust me, and then cause harm and cheat for everybody. Now, in the sutra teaching, so then we say, we cannot have this, this is not good, that is not good. So how to use Tantra to solve daily problem? That is today's topic. Both in Sutra and Tantra, very clearly, one must not segregate that they are Buddhism. Okay? Both are very clearly they are Buddhism. Some people say Tantra is not Buddhism. This is mistaken. Look very clearly, reflect very clearly, both Sutra and Tantric tradition talk about reaping what you sow. Talk about, okay, which also means harvesting what you have planted. Right? There are many different ways of explaining. Right? So, we look at our situation today. Our situation, our mind, our body, our experience, we think about, we very clearly think about only what we want, what we don't want, and what we don't want to face. And we know, most people know what we don't want, but not many people know what they need. Right? They know what they want, they don't know what they need. Because they don't want to know what they have to do to awaken to what they need. Right? So in Tantric practice, it is a deep self cultivating method. Actually this only given to those who have received this initiation, but actually, even though we say secret, there's nothing evil about it, there's nothing bad about it. The main thing is mind transformation in Tantra. The whole teaching of Sutra and Tantra is about mind transformation. Without transforming our mind, we will always be depressed. We will always have expectations, and we will always think that how things should be, how you want it to be, how it cannot be, and this and that. And then after that, they fall into deep depression. Early on also I said, everybody just say, I want to help. Everybody have a good mind, want to help. But you help, I help, he help, everybody help, then mess the whole thing up. Why? Because everybody only want to help the way that they want to help. So we say, when we come together and practice, the purpose is to be put in a condition, to be put in a situation where people with the same, with the same goal of wanting to be free, of wanting awakening, of wanting liberation from suffering. So everybody put together and everybody encourage each other. So this is very important. So if we come and we practice and then we have the thought to say, oh, we come and practice, we are Buddhists and then everything, then you think that there is no problem? I'm sorry. Okay? There will always be problems and situations because you caused it. You caused it. Not anybody else. My gurus all say, okay, that if there were to be any problem that there will be any problem that one experiences is because one has created the past condition to experience it. Whereas the person who may be there at the same time, beside you, and living with you, but not have any of that suffering at all, any of that situation at all. This can very, very clearly be proven that people in the same family, living together, staying together, some face great situation, difficult situation, but the other person, sibling or family member, have no problem. The mind is free, they have no problem, but the other person totally suffering. This cannot, that cannot, everything cannot. So Tantra, this method of transforming, okay, is to open our mind and our heart to receive whichever deity that you have practiced. And first thing is to cultivate it as, I'm not me. Right? I am another identity. Right? The reason of having another identity that is take on a sacred identity, maybe if somebody asks, oh, if you are Christian, then what can I do? Then I say, oh, you think of your God. You can think that you become an angel. But if you are Buddhist and if you have received Tantric initiation, then you arise as your deities. Then now comes very, very, very interesting situation. Do deities have such situations? Do deities have lung, have depression? No. Do they have husband-wife quarrel? No. Do they have a deep-seated anger and attachment? No. Right? Do they have money problem? No. Housing problem? No. Many things don't have. Right? So, in this way, we are giving ourselves. Some people we say, oh, I want to go for a vacation just to get away from it all. Okay? This method of practice is, you are living your life of vacation. You don't need to go anywhere. And your life, whatever your situation may be, your mind must be in vacation. Because it has been proven. So many people, body in vacation, mind is working. Right? You go on vacation, you're thinking what happened, well, how is my cat thinking of me, what happened to my cat, what happened to my pussycat, what happened to my doggies, what happened to my husband, what happened to my business, anybody come and they didn't complete their job, and I gotta chase this. So you are on vacation, but your mind is not free. Physical vacation, mind in prison. This is everybody's reality. Worse, right now, everybody has a spirit tablet. Okay, I call it a spirit tablet. You know what's a spirit tablet? I show you. Everybody has one of these. Right? Everybody walks around. Right? And so there are extremists that say that, no, I don't want a smartphone, I have a dumb phone. If you don't have a smartphone, your phone is dumb. So I learned this term, oh, I have dumb phone. Right? Why do you need to say that my phone is dumb? Huh? Because it is dumb? It was not dumb. Whoever created it never meant it to be dumb. You see? Yeah. So the thing, why I call it a spirit tablet, because if I were to do puja for you, if somebody pass away and do puja, just don't need to write the name on anything, just take their mobile and put there and they do puja. Definitely the consciousness comes. Because of attachment to the mobile phone. So on outside, you arise as your deity. And then before you arise as your deity, you must know, we all have to dissolve ourselves. The most important part is not the arising as the deity, but the most important part is letting yourself die. Okay? In the actual highest Yoga Tantra text, there's dissolution into the sphere of emptiness. We are trained to meditate, to die every day. So that when the real moment of your death arises, there's no more fear. You know exactly how to die, what will happen, and how you will be free. So many people today suffer from the terror of death. Okay? We don't say physical death, terror of situational death also cannot. Right? I cannot change this, I cannot change that, it must be like this, it must be like that. So they don't recognize impermanence. We must recognize impermanence. This is very important. Because of impermanence, things grow. Things can evolve. Imagine the seed of the plant is permanently a seed. Whatever you grow, nothing happens. Right? But our mind fail to see that. Our mind fail to see that everything surrounding in nature is teaching us, is reminding us, everything must evolve, if not we will suffer. Must evolve, if not we will suffer. Very apparent in your country, over here, that there are 4 seasons, and the weather and everything is so different. In my country, we only have 2 seasons, the hot and the hotter season. And there is no problem with the seasons. We don't need to dress up. In fact, if you dress up, everybody gives you funny looks. Right? We don't need to dress up. We just need to dress well and respectably. Right? So, the death process that we meditate about is that one method you can use is that you become smaller and smaller and smaller. Right? It's like if you take a mushroom and put it under the sun, put it in your car, that's how I like to dry mushrooms. You buy mushrooms and you put them on a tray and put it in the, what do you call, windscreen in the car. Because of the heat, everything dehydrates. Very well, no problem. And what happens? The original look of the mushrooms dehydrates and it shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. What is happening is like same ourselves. We must allow ourselves to evolve, to change. If not, we are so fixated. How my hairstyle must be, how I must look, how I must dress, how I eat, what I eat. I must maintain this particular look. When somebody think of me, they have that style. Somebody think of me, they think of how I dress. You understand?
Yes.
Do you understand? Yeah. Do you ever go to the departmental store and you look at some clothes and then it arises in your mind, oh, this person would like this, oh, that person would buy this, this person would dress up like this, would like to wear this and that. So it shows our mind, that person's mind, very, very fixated. Fixated only brings about suffering. What is the purpose of wearing clothes? The purpose of wearing clothes is to keep ourselves warm. But some people can wear flower shirt, some people cannot wear flower shirt. Some men never wear flower shirt, some men never wear pink shirt. Because their mind says, I can only do this, I can only dress like this and do this and that. Mind fixated, great suffering. But they don't know they are suffering. That's why Buddha says there are these three types of suffering. Without recognizing this, one cannot cultivate Tantra well. First suffering is the truth of this conventional suffering. Right? No, suffering of change, and the all-pervasive suffering. Suffering of suffering is very much in your face. If you fall down, you get pain. Right? You get all kinds of pain, aches and pains and this and suffering of suffering. Suffering of change is also not so very obvious, but they don't know what to do. Oh, things change to become this, become that. What is the first thing of the reaction? Anger will come because of resistance to change. So the first thing comes anger. Third is all-pervasive suffering. All-pervasive suffering very easily, just to say, easily, that they don't know that they are suffering, but we are suffering. Right? Like if you enjoy a nice meal, very tasty meal, but there is some bacteria inside. Later on there's suffering. You keep on going to the toilet. Right? You get sick, you get diarrhea, you have pain. But when you are there, all pervasive suffering, there's some we call hidden suffering. Right? If we examine very clearly, all kinds of hidden suffering amongst us. All kinds. Okay? And ordinarily, people would, because of the three suffering, people would resort to praying to God. Resort to praying to some kind of God. Praying to Buddha, praying to God, making offerings for the purpose of alleviating suffering. Just like going to see a doctor. But for me, I say many people pray and do their practice very much not for their own mental development, which is the original intent of Buddha, but end up become bribery. Right? Become bribery. I make offerings to you, then I think I want to get this kind of result. Right? So there are many people, they go to temples, they go to church, and then they say, oh, you come here, you do this, you can get a good success, you can get if you have a childless couple, you get children, you get so many things. Then everybody is attracted just because of getting what they really want. They think they really want at that time. Okay? But when you get what you really want, can you handle it? Some people I want to know the truth. But when the truth comes, can you handle it? You go mental, up and down like a tsunami. Mental tsunami. Everything gets washed out. When I say everything gets washed out, means when everything dies, everything gets destroyed, then you feel good. Right? So in Tantra, we dissolve ourselves and this is actually a very difficult process in reality, because we must allow our earth element to dissolve into the water element. Our earth, our flesh and bone made from earth. So in our mind, if we dissolve, next thing it goes into becomes water. And then from the water, it goes into fire. And then from fire, it goes into air. And from air, then it goes into this clear light, and then the dark vision, then the red vision, and then the clear light or white vision, So there's a different process. But the main thing is, we must let go of right now, we are so concerned with everything that is happening as though we are going to live forever. Are you even going to be alive tomorrow? You don't know. I don't know. We don't know. So we must live our life to appreciate each other and one another. Then our life in reality will focus more on value than price. Why are people poor? Why do people continue to stay poor? People who are most picky on the price of things will always be in a situation of being poor. Everything calculate, feel more and more and more. So everything down to the last cent. Whatever they can count, they count. Right? New Age people say, the more you count, the more the universe will count with you. Somebody told me like this. I said, oh yes, I agree. That's a nice way of saying. The more you want to calculate, be a calculative person with other people, everybody will be calculative with you. Right? So, somebody say, oh, I'm poor. How I cannot give money. What? I cannot give money. I cannot donate. So I'm useless. Come on. You'll always be poor, number one. You must see how are spiritually rich and wealthy people. First thing you see, they smile very easily. They have a radiant smile. Giving a smile is free. But many people always just this kind of face. Right? Smile is free. Give free smiles. Right? In your culture, there's many people when you walk in the street, they say, oh, hi, hello, how's your day and everything. Right? Asians actually don't do that. They just say, oh, ni hao. They say, wishing you well. But Western people, everywhere I go, they say, oh, hello, how are you? They don't know you, but they say, hello, how are you? So I thought, that's very nice. But if everybody really in the mind can give free smile, give your time, give your effort, give your love, give your listening ear, give your shoulder to hug, all these things actually really don't need money to buy. You give her advice. You see, the 4 activities of increasing the Dharma. First is generosity. Okay? This generosity is not necessarily giving money. It's giving yourself. This generosity really means giving yourself, sharing yourself, and not say, this is mine and mine alone. Right? Sometimes there are many people who are maybe volunteering in temples or churches, or volunteering in what 社团叫什么 community. Yeah, in community groups. Then they become very unhappy. Why? I already said earlier on. Because they only want to volunteer the way they want to volunteer. But everybody have different ideas. Our mind needs to open. Our heart needs to open. So you see, if you have a mind of a capability of only a cup, you can only hold so much water the cup can hold. Right? But if we are put all the cups together, just imagine, everybody may be a cup, but everybody can hold all the cup. Together you can hold a lot of cup. But the real meaning of going together is to destroy all the cups. And use all the porcelain, okay, the clay, and remake into a big, what do you call, basin or something like that. Right? And what is the biggest basin? The biggest basin is Mother Earth itself. Return everything back to nature, having no self. Return to our original state of clarity. Then we can really open ourselves and be of benefit. Not say, oh, but I think that it must be like this. Oh, it has to be like that. Oh, but yes, what you say is true, but your whole life is just justification, blaming, and complaining. Even I give you the best tantric initiation, blessing, teaching, method, nothing will come to you because you are resisting everything. How does the resistance come? Blaming, complaining, justifying. Make sense? Okay? Everybody only just want to follow their old methods and old ways. Like a very good example, due to kindness of Facebook, then we get opportunity to meet other people. Right? But in our mind, we don't think due to kindness of Facebook, due to kindness of somebody doing this. We only think, I don't like this, just don't use this. This and that. But somebody maybe say, in the past, I don't need social media, I don't need this, I don't need that. But once you try, then you can connect with people on the same goal, same path, same interest. Then you realize there are really many, many pockets and many different people can come together and practice together for the benefit for a greater good. This is very, very important rather than resistance. Okay? So, how would a deity feel? What would an angel do? Now we think this term angel. Now you are dead and you become an angel. Okay? Your culture more used to the idea of a guardian angel. My culture don't have guardian angel. Right? So let's say you are a guardian angel, which most of you have been guardians. Okay, we are very motherly. You have to take care of your children, take care of your students, take care of this, take care of that. What would you do to help others? Very frankly, I tell you, if you are just a guardian angel, you have been doing whatever you have done when you are alive. Right? Wrong? Not sure? Not sure? Definitely. Definitely. I give you a very good example. You want to know? I prove to you right now. You want to know?
Yes.
Okay? You are playing a video game. Right? If you don't have that superpower or don't have that some other implement that the game has, you only based on your own original capability, you cannot evolve much further. You cannot jump higher, you cannot fly, you cannot shoot, or you cannot punch, you cannot kick. Right? Resistance. You imagine you play a game and they say, no, I cannot have this, I cannot have that, I don't want this, I don't want that, I just want to stay the same. Then there's no point playing a video game. Right? And you will just be yourself in that video game. What you are in your video game. In fact, I can see you, who you really are, when you are playing a video game. When you are playing a video game, that is the real you, manifested through a video game. Because in the so-called reality, when we are on earth, we cannot do anything. Some people want to kill somebody, some people want to beat somebody up, and all their issues will manifest in a video game. After a while, some crazy people will think that the world of video game is real, and they do that to real people. Right? Okay? So, solving problem with Tantra, number one is the most important essence of this practice is to see the divine in everybody. Right? In Buddhism, when we greet somebody, we don't shake hands. We put our hands together and pray. Chinese call 合十. Okay? Put together and respect. Muslims do that too. Hindus do that too. Okay? And what is the meaning of that? The real meaning means, some say namaste, some say this, atashi dele, whatever. The real meaning means, I pay respect to the divine in you. You have to grow your divinity, paying respect to the divine in you. So in Tantra, the main thing is we have to cultivate to see the divine in each and every one of us, in others, in the bird, in the animal, in each other as human beings. In our word, we say, we see the Buddha nature in each and every one of us. Whether it's whatever religion they are, whatever type of human being, whatever type of animal, all we see is the Buddha nature in them. And we want to awaken that Buddha nature in others, and at the same time, it will awaken that Buddha nature, it will grow that Buddha nature in ourselves. The farmer in us, the main purpose of the farmer in us is to grow the Buddha nature, till the Buddha nature or the Buddha heart totally envelops us and it becomes us. We become oneness with them. Just like a young child. When a young child, when they're happy, they're happy. When they're sad, they are sad. But you know, a child is just love. Big love. Correct? Do you feel another adult is a big love? Do you feel another adult can be a big love? Can be, yes. Can be. Now cannot, future can be. This is essence of Tantric practice. But on the way there, will there be fighting? Will there be quarreling? Will there be swords crossed? Yes. Will there be argument? Yes. Will there be disagreement? Will there be this? Yes. Why? Very simple. Very simple. My advice to people who practice Tantra and the people who are getting married is the same advice. Just that Tantra is the other way around and the marriage is the other way around. One from the front and one from the back. Okay? In the marriage, people spend so much money on the wedding, but they forgot the wedding is the beginning of marriage. In the marriage, what you put inside, in marriage and life is the same. What you put inside is what will stay inside. What you put inside and what will stay inside with your life and in your marriage. Very, very clearly. You put happy memories, happy experiences, spiritual experiences, everything put inside, togetherness, everything is good. At the end of your day, you look back when you're old, you have a lot of things to smile about and a lot of things to share about. Some people, when they are old, they tell all the bad stories of the past, all the bad things about people. Have you experienced that? Have you? Yeah. So that's because you very clearly, we can see this person, he put inside all the bad things and he chose to put the bad things inside. Bad things don't become good in a closed box. Right? They don't become good in a closed box. Why do I say closed box? Because our heart is always closed. The reverse is Tantra. all the things inside us from everything that we have put inside. When you practice Tantra, when you practice Dharma, you open the box, let the light in. First thing what you see inside, all the bad experience, everything that we have put inside, when you shine the torchlight in, you go, oh my God, close it. Right? People may say, open up and say, Jesus Christ, boom. Okay? Yeah. So, the main thing is open. And then, when one is there to give other people when it's all bad inside. But the reality is, in all of us, there is no all bad. Some good, some bad. Dependent on your experience and what you want, some, whether it's more good or more bad, only you know. Only you know what you put inside your box of life. Then, in this box of life, when you say when you want to keep only the good, you have to start throwing out the dirt. Right? Throwing out the rotten corn, throwing out the rotten onion, throwing out the old this and that, all the bad memories and everything. So when we practice, somebody have the same experience, you have the same experience, it comes together. Big bang. That shows how much good connection you have with each other. Instead of seeing it as a bad connection. When people have cross swords, when people have a quarrel and this and that, it means there's similarity. That means you're helping each other to work this thing out. Some people then say, I'm sick, I pay money to see doctor to get myself cured. Right? Some people think, oh, I have a problem, maybe my past life have problem, or I have some obscuration, I pay some lama to do puja. Okay, I ask some monasteries to get many sangha to do puja to solve my problem. Is that right? It's up to you. Some they say that, oh, I pay money to get maybe some spiritualists or some clairvoyant people, they tell me they do some spiritual cleansing for me so that I'll not have problem. Truth is, they are all not wrong. Different people have different methods. The main thing is everybody wants to be happy. But unfortunately for you, Buddhism is, when we practice, is not for happiness, it's for awakening. When you have awakening, worldly happiness slides off. Because then true awakening and true love and true happiness arises deep within. So this is something that we must reflect upon. Then we can say, like what His Holiness Dalai Lama says, all beings want happiness and not want suffering. So all human beings, all religion, all the purpose of Buddhists is to see that we are all brothers and sisters